A very warm welcome to Bhutan This Week, our weekly news magazine program. I'm Tanden Finso. Our top stories this week: Education Minister Mingmu Dukpa submits his resignation as the Education Minister to the Prime Minister. Residents of Mushi village and the Lumangkiok in Tashilong are facing drinking water shortage. And financial experts say most Bhutanese spend more than what they earn. Education Minister Mingmu Dukpa submitted his resignation to the Prime Minister. A press release from the PDP office states the Education Minister cited personal reasons for his resignation. The minister also recommended a younger person to be made in charge of the ministry to carry forward the education blueprint and the school reform agenda. The Economic Affairs Minister Norbu Wangchuk will be the new Education Minister, and the Badotrong MP of Jemgang Lekidoji will be appointed as the new Economic Affairs Minister. As per the Constitution, Prime Minister submitted the recommendations to His Majesty the King for royal assent. People across the nation woke up to uneasy feeling as darkness coupled with rain and wind prolonged into the morning on Monday. Even after 8 a.m., motorists had to use headlights.
It is 15 minutes past 9 in the morning in Gelifu, and the town remained dark, which many said was unusual. It was no different in Thimphu and Phuntsholing. Cars put on their headlights on their way to schools and offices.
It is for the first time I'm experiencing this sort of weather. My sister in Gelifu and Phuntsholing said they experienced the same and were worried. Even I was worried.
I lived here for over 15 years now. Heavy rain and wind are common. But today it was unusually dark, and I am experiencing it for the first time.
Meteorologists said extreme weather pattern today was because of wind blowing from the west, and it is called western disturbance.
Now, during the pre-monsoon season, slowly there is transition from the winter to summer. So then this system, everything changes its course from westerly to southwest. So then on summer we receive mostly the system from the southwest. So the morning this weather, I think it was like a very dense blanket of cloud was there this morning, and it was covering entire country, entire Bhutan. So because of this western disturbance.
But the weather is likely to improve from tomorrow. However, light rainfall is expected to continue in the southern and southeastern region for the next few days. Pupgame for BBS News.
Mountain Hazelnuts, a foreign direct investment company, is set to reap its first small commercial harvest next week. The company, which operates from Lingmithang, is expected to ramp up and harvest up to 40,000 tons of hazelnuts in the next couple of years.
Registered as Bhutanese company in 2010, Mountain Hazelnuts made a sizable investment of $30 million in the venture. The company's management feels they made the right choice by choosing to invest in Bhutan.
I came to Bhutan in this region about 40 years ago, and it touched me in a really deep way. And I knew that this was a special place, and I always wanted to return and do something.
Openness of the Bhutanese people, the hard-working ethos of our staff, and it's really like a family. I like to say to the staff, when we promote every year, we call out their names and I start to cry. It's a real achievement of our staff that we have become so successful and we are so large. I think it's a great testimony to those people who might consider Bhutan as a place to start a venture.
The management said Bhutan is a country of relationships, and as long as they give sustainable payments to the farmers, the contract the company has with them will be respected. The company supplies saplings to the farmers free of cost. In return, the farmers will have to sell the produce to the company.
We've done a lot of preparatory work in terms of agroclimatic and soil studies, also comprehensive market analysis. So I think before we began, we were very confident that Bhutan was the right place. Since we began the project, we've made very good progress, and we've now planted over 4 million trees. Trees are growing well, and we're seeing the first nuts. So I think we wouldn't be making a $30 million investment if we weren't very confident.
Dr. Sean Philip Watson said they wouldn't be making any commercial profit for several years to come, as they still have process to go through. But he said they're confident they're on the right track. As Mountain Hazelnuts continues to build a whole new supply chain, it has already started contributing to Bhutanese society.
Currently, Mountain Hazelnuts has more than 700 people on its payroll. Eventually, it will be well over 1,000. But that's a small piece of the contribution. We have more than 1,200 people who are providing services and goods to us from the communities. But even more important than that are the many tens of thousands of people involved in growing hazelnuts. We're working with about 7,000 household farmers right now. We're working with monasteries, nunneries, and schools. And all of these people will benefit over time. In addition, the overall economy is benefiting because we will become a very significant export product for Bhutan.
Once the commercial venture of the company begins, they will be exporting hazelnuts all the way from the mountains in Bhutan to Europe, United States, and some emerging markets in Asia. Tara Limbu reporting from Mongar for BBS.
People of Moshi village under Lumanggyok in Tashigang do not have enough drinking water. The villagers have been facing the shortage for over 2 decades now.
Residents of Moshi village wake up early in the morning every day to store water. The water is supplied through Project Damtak's water reservoir. The water, however, is supplied for only an hour in a day. Villagers therefore say water is not sufficient.
We need to cook food and wash the dishes and clothes. But without water, what can we do? We cannot do anything. So far, we have been staying without any sanitation, mainly because of shortage of water.
The issue was raised several times during the Gewak Tsokde, but people continue to face the problem due to lack of water source. People said water shortage was not an issue a decade ago, but with increase in number of households in the village, the shortage has become acute. People also said the earlier water source has dried up, creating the shortage. According to Lumanggyok, the Gewak administration currently does not have water supply plants for Moshi village. But the GUB said they will look at the feasibility of supplying water from Kospu village water supply line. Kospu is around 2 kilometers away from Moshi village.
We are planning to construct a huge water reserve tank, and we have been discussing the possibility of supplying water to Moshi village from the tank as well.
Until then, Moshi villagers will have to wait and bear the brunt of the shortage. For Sonam Dargi in Kanglong, Sonam Pem, BBS News.
The Little Police Partners program was launched last Saturday by the Education Minister in Kinsalpota Primary School in Thimphu. The program was initiated by the Royal Bhutan Police.
These small children, dressed up in police uniform, are going to be the first Little Police Partners in the country. Kinsalpota Primary School is the first school to introduce this pilot project. Little Police Partners program is a child-friendly policing approach aimed to enable children to develop skills. It is also to enhance their ability to make positive life choices at an early stage.
The main reason behind initiating such program is to erase the fear of police in children by engaging in positive interactions. Another reason is to prevent children from using drugs and inculcate the importance of crime prevention. We are looking forward to initiate engagement activities not through fear but with mutual cooperation.
Police chief also added that they have plans to sensitize children in all the primary schools across the country. Various presentations were made to educate and entertain the children. Meanwhile, this is what a little policeman had to share with BBS.
Zebra crossing lalen lijimbe tabgo dele ngachi tabzing ben nimyo dele rogi ngachilu kuram jindalu ngachile nimyo dele kongi ngachilu garina show selabda joni miola.
Through the program, these children are expected to understand laws, their rights and ways to seek protection. It is also aimed at fostering a positive relationship between the police and children.
Our school wishes to sustain the program through the formation of clubs to reduce the crime and make our students learn more about the laws. So far, our students have wrong notions. They fear so much when they see police. But hereafter, we wanted to join hands with the police, and we would like to sustain this program to make our children learn more about the laws.
The program is initiated in collaboration with the Education Ministry to celebrate the birth of His Royal Highness the Gazi. It was funded by the UNICEF. Sonampem for BBS News.
They have created a WeChat group called Chalipas. The group from Chaligyok in Mongar converse in their native dialect called Chali. Technology in certain ways is helping dispel the fear that one day Chali dialect could disappear forever.
Legend has it that when God, after distributing languages all over the world, arrived at Chali, he ran out of languages. He then strung the leftover words together, made it into a dialect and gave it to the people of Chali. The locals say Chali dialect is a cauldron of words. It contains Bumtap, Kenka, Kurtip and English words among others. And when rural-urban migration started taking away people from Chali and Tormashong, which is about 27 kilometers away from Mongar town, the locals feared their dialect would also disappear along with them. But technology in some way has come to their rescue. The locals through mobile phone and social media are helping those who have gone away get in touch with their roots.
모빌기대 펜남선 똑달라 가서는 나빠는데 번 몰라 니야 몰라 강나 국나라 마브런 거 다음에도 폰다 쪼라 남바르 연구직 받달라 남바르 연구직 받 셀리바 니는 카 쿠는 거네 셀리바 간 거네 모빌다 폰남선 펜 똑고 나라
신 바르바니 위챗 나양 바르바니 먹달라 니카 that 예상을 하어있다 희남비 니는 셀리바 테마도 프라주니 샤초과 등상원을 니는 셀리바카라 등에낭에서 먹다 수상다.
Chaligyok has over 2,000 people and most of them are well versed in Chali, considered one of the unique dialects in the country. In the meantime, technology's aid to the dialect's preservation could prove fleeting, but the locals say it is better than no aid at all. Tara Limbu reporting from Mongar for BBS.
Prime Minister Singh Tobgay has been named among the world's 50 greatest leaders by Fortune magazine. Prime Minister, who is ranked 58th by the magazine, is recognized for continuing the use of philosophy of gross national happiness to measure the country's progress. They mentioned the Prime Minister is sustaining the country's environmental commitment by maintaining Bhutan's unique status as a carbon-negative country and harnessing the nation's hydropower. The list features men and women from across the globe, from the fields of business, government, philanthropy and the arts, who are transforming the world and inspiring others to do the same. Fortune magazine is a multinational business magazine based in New York. When it comes to personal finance management, most Bhutanese are spending more than what they earn. In most cases, many borrow money from banks, spend on luxury items that further fuel expenses and land up being in debt for many years.
Most surveys on financial literacy in the country point to the fact that Bhutanese lack saving culture, are financially indisciplined, and that we buy expensive cars, luxury items and electronics while depending on a single source of income. Bhutanese in general land up with more liability than assets, leading to a situation where your monthly income failed to catch up with your expenses. We spoke to some people on how they manage their personal finance and where they spend mostly.
Expenditure household necessities.
I have a small recurring party. I spend a certain amount out there and then few for my daily consumption. I'm thinking of investing on shares and all.
First of all, there's no disposable income, and there's nothing that beyond that we can do in the investment side.
I depend on a single source of income, and I don't have any other investment stock in shares at all.
Share the stock bonds mapa digi khepenti kadibi gamishila atsichi lujudi koi.
Some employees interviewed said they also depend on their parents for financial assistance when they run short of cash. Financial experts in the country are of the opinion that irrespective of the size of income, people can still become financially successful. We asked them how best an individual or a household could make use of their income so that they get the best out of it.
To me, personal finance is about knowing what asset is and what liabilities are. Say, suppose if you invest in a property, you should be able to segregate which property is income earning for you, income generating for you, and which property is going to incur you losses.
The reason for most Bhutanese scoring low on financial management, according to some experts, is because Bhutanese society provides a safety net. An individual can always rely on their relatives and friends when they are in a financial crisis.
Fundamentally, we need to firstly understand how much do we earn, and then we work out how much we want to spend. But in Bhutanese context, it's happening reverse otherwise. People plan how much to spend before we really understand how much we earn.
Others said the current economic situation is not conducive for an individual to be financially prudent. Savings rates are minimal and shares are always oversubscribed. Shareholders therefore earn only a small amount which do not make any visible impact on their income. Nyerup Gelson for BBS News.
A Bhutanese man, Ugen Jatso, has made his own motorcycle. The bike is made in Kanglung in Tashigang. The bike was made at a cost of only 35,000 Newton.
Young and talented Ugen dreamt that he would one day build his own motorcycle. Since his childhood, he was obsessed with machines. Ugen, a contractor by profession and a man with great belief, has gone on to achieve his lifelong dream. He attributes that tutorials from YouTube has helped him achieve his dream. The bike was modified 3 months back.
I bought the engine from Guwahati. I also bought the tires. Rest are just customized. The bike I wanted to ride was not in the market, so I just thought to write a unique one. That's why I built it myself.
Ugen collected the parts from workshops and his own construction sites. After sealing the bike and giving it a final coat of black paint, he named the bike Tanatinka Chopper. The bike boasts of traveling at 160 km per hour. Ugen rides with particular pride, but sometimes he says he feels embarrassed as it garners a lot of attention from the people. His impressive bike building skills have fooled the people to make them believe that it is built overseas.
He is very skillful. The gears can be changed by hands. I think we need practice to ride this bike. I rode the bike and I found it nice.
He got few orders from people to build bikes like his. he has not accepted any for now. He plans to build better bikes and finally start a small industry to build bikes in the future. For Chatan Dupchu in Konglung, Kilyangdan, BBS News.
A huge crowd gathered at the Chalimtang Archer Range to see archers from Hungary on Wednesday. A group of 7 archers who were here for the Bhutan-Hungarian Culture Exchange program.
Wearing their traditional costumes, the Magyars, as they are called back at home in Hungary, played against the local archers in Thimphu. Their bow is made of wood, sinew, horn and bone, and pine wood is used to make arrows. But for them, the distance between the targets was unusually long.
It's an incredible experience to see the Bhutanese archers, very different from our technique, very different from our method of archery. The distance you're shooting, 145 meters, is incredibly long. We're used to much shorter distances, so for us the challenge is incredible, and your archers are shooting incredibly well.
Though
they don't have the experience of playing in Bhutan, they are equally good. For us, it is a big opportunity to learn about Hungarian culture. But they gave a towering performance in short shooting range. Though archery has been part of Hungarian history, it nearly disappeared once. The Hungarian Archery Association is putting efforts to revive the culture of traditional archery.
We have many kinds of archery, from Olympic to traditional, and we are trying to develop everything at the same time and to bring up archery to levels that eventually can be a national sport. By 2030, we have the aim to be there and reach or bring the sport to a national sport.
The crowd was also treated to combating techniques to end the program. Kipchu for BBS News.
That's all from me and my team here in Thimphu. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.